Hello and welcome back to episode 63 of Unknown to World Known. We're back once again with Queen's Park Rangers. We have had another job application. We applied for Lille, but they did reject us. Schedule-wise, it's not been great. We lost 4-0 to Wolves following the last recording. We did then pick up our first win against Southampton, 2-1. We knocked West Brom out of the EFL Cup. We then lost 2-0 to Sheffield United, drew 0-0 with Aston Villa, and most recently we got spanked 4-1 by Manchester United after leading early on, actually. And then finally in the EFL Cup, we drew Everton, who knocked us out 1-0, and we now play them again before a trip to Arsenal. So let's go see how we're going to line up against Everton. We are currently 18th in the league, and they are the team behind us, so this is quite a big game for us. Let's hope we can pull something off. And the lineup we're going for in this game against Everton, we're going with Effenberger in goal, Akar, Collins, Williams and Auld as our back four, Masengo and Casata holding midfielders, Harkin on the right, Chair through the middle, Shortire on the left, and Scarlett up front. So let's hope we can bounce back after losing to Everton in the Cup a few days ago and see if we can this time pick up a win. Hopefully we can pull that off. And we are seeming to have some problems here. Let me pause for just a moment. Okay, everything seems to be in working order now. So we have kicked off against Everton. And we need a good result here, really, to try and show that we have got some fight in us in this division. Because it's not been a great start, as Ald gets the block on Holgate's cross, and the ball forward finds Scarlett, who has a bit of space to run at, and he's got one-on-one with the keeper. Somehow he's left it behind him, but lays it off to Chair to put us 1-0 up. Just over a minute on the clock, and we have the lead against Everton. What we're trying to do is adapt our style. We play quite fluid counter-attacking football in the Championship. What I'm experimenting with now is trying to go a bit more direct football, counter-attacking still, but just a bit more direct, so that hopefully we can catch teams out rather than try and play through them a little bit more. We're going to encourage them, and hopefully we can keep this lead in the highlight, or maybe even extend it. Justin heads the ball to Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi. Why Everton are in the relegation? I mean, it's only 5 games in, so there's not much to read into it, to be fair. But Holgate on the right-hand side now. Auld meets him, and the ball's slipped through, and a big miss from Gare there as it broke to him. I would have been quite annoyed if they'd scored from that just because of the way it ended up with him. But it was a big chance for them as well. If that had been on our side, I'd be fuming that he's missed it. And that's one thing that is annoying me this year. In particular, when they are making mistakes at the back. We had one against Wolves. Their team's always straight on it. They're right there. We don't seem to have anyone there to capitalise on a missed header like that. Scarlett trying to get past Ampadu, but he is held off and whips the ball in to Casata. And I don't quite know what happened there. Shortire, I think, had a shot and somehow it ended up with Chair, but he's put it in the back of the net and made it 2-0. Let's have a look here. So Scarlett whipped the ball in. It took a deflection off Holgate to end up with Chair, who finishes it very nicely, makes it 2-0. And we're going to tell them to focus because we are very vulnerable to conceding goals, and we need to try and avoid that happening today if we want to hold on. And Bond heads just over for Everton there. And so far in the first half, to be fair, we've actually had the better of the chances. We're kind of just sitting back, absorbing the pressure. As you can see, they've had these chances inside the box, but they're always off target or blocked. I'm surprised that 2.6, that's not as high as the chance I thought it would be. Whereas ourselves, again, a couple of block shots that were quite good chances. So, admittedly, that one that I highlighted there fell to Chair, who did score, so it would still only be 2-0 had that chance been converted instead. Everton now trying to break. We've got a lot of men back, and this is one thing that I do struggle with on Football Manager is building a solid defensive tactic. It's Calvert-Lewin hedge just wide there. It's another big chance for Everton. Not great at still trying to figure out exactly how to make a team stay defensively solid. I find quite often when I do try it, we end up just leaking goals a little bit as Everton hit the post again there. Let's tell them to focus again. Let's put the phone on Do Not Disturb so that we stop being disturbed. And let's have a look at the subs bench. We're going to bring Harkin off for Mensah, who we might even try. Dropping back to here. Defensive winger, and just try and use him to sit a bit deeper and keep us in the game. We're going to look to make our next change. Can Shorteye play back here? He can. Quite well as well. Quite well. So we're going to leave him on inverted winger there. We'll send Akalde on for Chair. Although he scored the 2 goals, I just want him to be there to bring the ball down a bit. And we'll send Rue on the left hand side. He can be a defensive winger as well. And we're just going to try and see out the last 20 minutes or so of this game as Godfrey heads just over the bar as we make the changes, and we've got 10 minutes now to hold on. Oh no, and it's 2-1 now. Let's start time wasting, I think. Regroup. Slow the pace down. Let's just see if we can try and edge out of this game with the 2-1 win. We've dropped back to the 4-4-1-1 to try and help us do that. And we've got the long throw with Ald playing it to Rue next to him. He plays it to Masengo, who's got space. And Scarlett and Akalde exchange the... Oh my goodness, what an own goal. Ben Godfrey has passed it back to Jordan Pickford, who has had an absolute blunder. So Masengo here plays it to Scarlett, who then tries to find Akalde. And then it's just passed back, and Pickford wasn't ready for it. It's gone straight into the back of the net. Gives us the 3-1 win. So we're very happy with that. No complaints at all from our side. And hopefully that may well see us climb just a little bit up the table. And it does. It puts us up into 15th. Blackburn and Everton have got games in hand on us. So we are very much watching over our shoulder. But hopefully we can build a little bit on that. It's going to be very tough now going into the game against Arsenal. But let's see what we can pull off there. Okay, and we're back now for the game against Arsenal. We're going largely unchanged, with the Greek guy coming in for Williams as our only change, as well as Rue has come in for Shorteye, just because Shorteye has not been in good form recently, and he's also not fully fit. So thought we'd give him the rest and see if Rue can have a bit of better luck. Akalde not on the bench today because, of course, he's on loan from Arsenal, so he's not eligible to play in this game. But hopefully we can come into this now and, I don't know, keep it tight at the back and hopefully not concede too many. I've not got a lot of hope for this game. Casata and Auld playing it down the left-hand side. Casata finds Chair and it's back through for Chair, who's hit it and it's gone straight into the top corner. And in less than a minute, QPR lead at the Emirates. Who saw that coming? I didn't. Absolutely fantastic. Chair is... He had a bit of a slow start. We've moved him back into the middle like he was in our first season at QPR. And he's adapted straight away back in the Premier League. He likes playing through the middle here. Chair plays it to Masengo. Plays it to Boulant, who finds Harkin down the right-hand side. The cross goes in. It's bit of a dodgy deflection in there. Nearly ended up going back towards the Arsenal goal. Velasco is on a hell of a run from the left-hand side, and Casata dispossesses him and gets it clear for us to Palacios. Maddison and Lamperty now going to try and come back in at us. And it's played to Palacios at the edge of the area, but he shoots wide from range. And this is a real test of us now. We had the lead against Manchester United recently, and we proceeded to lose 4-1. So, you know, we've been in this position before. We know not to get carried away with it. But hopefully we can just keep ourselves defensively sound as Harkin tries to find some space on this right-hand side. Does manage to get across in the box, but again, bounces between the defenders. The Greek guy clears to Casata, and Auld and Masengo now have a bit of space to pass the ball around. That's put forward towards Chair for some strange reason. And I know I said direct, but, you know, direct with some direction would be a lot nicer. But Roux manages to stop their cross-field ball. Chair and Scarlett exchanging now. And Roux's look for Scarlett in behind. Oh, and what a chance for Scarlett to put one over against his parent club's North London rivals, of course. We're building again from a free kick. Chair and Casata exchanging the ball. Scarlett trying to get past Parola. And it's a poor pass to try and find Roux. But again, clearance, there's only our men there, so we're able to bring it down with a little bit of time on the ball. And Harkin and Chair now finds Roux on the left-hand side. He needs to get a cross in. And he plays it back to Casata for an even better position. And it's ended up in the net. I think that was offside. And yeah, Harkin unfortunately was just offside, as it bundled between Chair. Chair had the shot, and I think it hit Scarlett and then fell to Harkin. Unfortunately, in the mess, there was an offside. Yeah, so Scarlett has that shot there, and it's straight at the keeper. And unfortunately, Harkin stood next to him in an offside position, which means we don't manage to go 2-0 up against Arsenal. But nevertheless, 1-0 still doing well for us as we approach the halfway mark. And we have reached half-time, still 1-0 up. Not much to say here. Let's just tell them to try and keep going. And see if we can hold on in the second half. It's a long way to go still, 45 minutes. Let's we're going to praise them. It's a bit of a risky one on Football Manager. But now we're looking at what we can do to make changes. And thinking Roux can come off for short hire. And Harkin off for Coyle. And we're just going to leave it at that for now. and perhaps in the dying stage of the matches, we might look to drop somebody back into holding midfield, perhaps. I think that might be about time. After this highlight, we'll make that change. Shortire has gone down under the challenge from Lamperty, and he is being sent straight off. Does that change how we play out this last 10 minutes or so? We've got a free kick through Chair. Ball goes in towards the Greek guy. It's headed away. Ald is easily going to pick this up in tons of space. And Masengo and Boulan playing the ball between them. Finds Coyle on the right-hand side. He whips the ball towards the far post and it's caught by the goalkeeper, Odeshawn. He's going to lump it forward, and I'm kind of regretting not making any changes before this highlight now. As he plays the ball across. Oh, and I don't quite know how we've got away with that. We're going to make a change now. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop Masengo and Casata back. Marin is going to come on and sit as a defensive midfielder. Masengo is going to go to Segundo Volante. And Chair is going to drop. Tell you what, we're going to do something a bit odd here. We're going to go like this. Coyle is going to be the deep line playmaker. Chair there and a shallow striker in Shortire. We're going to go very narrow and just try and see out this last 10 minutes of pressure from a depleted Arsenal with that red card that they got. We're going to start to regroup, slow the pace down, and play for set pieces. Let's just see if we can try and squeak out these last few minutes. Arsenal are making all sorts of changes to their team formation. We have managed to pull it off. Well, who would have thought coming into this episode we'd come out with 2 wins from this result? Is it 2 wins or did we draw? No, it's 2 wins. Fantastic. We get 2 wins in this episode. It was very much a defensive performance, but sometimes you've got to do that. I mean, we had 5 shots, but I'm not complaining about that. Sometimes you've got to be a bit defensive. You've got to deal with that. We climb ourselves up into 12th place and on 10 points, which that's a big 3 points as well. To take 3 points away from one of the traditional Big Six, I'll say. I don't know if they are still members of the Big Six, really. Very much so. They've finished 6th. Other than the first season of the save and the last season, most recent season, they finished 6th. They finished 5th. So yeah, very much part of the Big Six, and we have managed to nab 3 points from them. What we will look to do now is I'm looking ahead and I'm thinking we need to come back for this Chelsea game because they're our biggest rivals. So we'll play Burnley off camera and we'll come back tomorrow with the Chelsea game and the Norwich game where we're on TV for the second time this season. The first time was against Wolves. So we'll come back for Chelsea and Norwich and see how we get on in those games. Only the one game off camera, but then after that we'll skip a bit further into the season following that. So if you have enjoyed that, as we finish here in 12th place, do leave a like. Comment down below what you think of that episode. 2 fantastic wins in my book. And subscribe if you are enjoying the series. We're sticking around at QPR for a while at least. There's no more jobs going at the moment. So for the time being, we won't be going anywhere. And We'll see what happens. Subscribe if you're enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.